Hi everyone, and welcome to the final flipped recording for EDU10006 Teaching and Learning in the 21st Century for the final assignment to case study. My name's Beck. You know me by now as the unit coordinator for this unit, and we're going to go through each of the sections of the assignment, and your ELAs will do this in further detail in the live Collaborate sessions that will be coming up in week 10. Okay, so let's get started. The word limit for this assignment is 2,200 words plus or minus 10%, and this is just your contribution to the assignment. As you know, this is a team assignment, so you will be submitting more than 2,200 words. However, you will only be marked on 2,200, which is your contribution. This is worth 40% of your mark, and it's due on Monday the 2nd of October, which is week 12 at 5 p.m. With this being the final assignment, generally, and it being a team assignment, we generally don't provide long extensions on this assignment. So you can request a 48-hour extension from your ELA, but however, anything longer than that will be quite difficult for you. However, if you do need that, you just need to submit the required form with supporting documentation. Okay, so let's get started and have a look at the assignment overview. So this is a case study and it depicts a real life scenario, and it helps you as a team to consider multiple ways of looking at a problem or issue. Something that you're going to have to do every day as a teacher. You're working as part of a team, and you will have a look at different scenarios and work out the best option for your students and for the school. So you're going to be comparing and contrasting traditional teaching and learning with new practices and examine the use of new technologies. You're also going to have a look at internal and external partnerships that enhance teaching and learning. So a lot of the work that you've been doing in assignment 1A and 1B is going to work towards this assignment also. However, it's looking at some further related learning outcomes that we haven't looked at before. So that was the internal and external partnerships in education. Okay, so having a look at the assignment details, you're required to work in a team to analyse and develop a report based on this scenario. You will have already been put into teams by your ELA, so your team may consist of 3 or 4 of you. And you can find this information on the discussion board. If at this stage you're not sure which team you're in, please email your ELA and they'll be able to help you with that. However, all that information is on the discussion board, and I'm sure most of you are already communicating with your team. So the scenario is based around a primary school in Victoria that's been closed, and this scenario you'll go into detail within your live Collaborate sessions with your ELAs. I'm not going to read out the whole scenario now because I don't have time in this recording. However, you'll pick that apart as part of your Collaborate session. Okay, so having a look at what the requirements are for this report, it's broken down into 6 parts, and some of these parts are team tasks and some of them are individual tasks. And I'm going to talk about each of those parts, and also I'll show you a report template that further explains how you will submit this assignment. So the first thing you need to do is analyse the scenario, and that's a team task, and it's in a total of 600 words. So you're going to identify potential issues with traditional teaching and learning practices that are present in that scenario. As I mentioned, that scenario you'll go into detail within that Collaborate session with your ELAs, so please attend that. Number 2, you need to examine new practices, partnerships and technologies for teaching and learning. So this is an individual task. Each of you will write 600 words. So you're going to conduct independent research and examine new teaching and learning practices that would be relevant to and support teaching and learning in relation to this scenario. You need to consider new technologies and internal and external partnerships that would enhance learning and address Miss Newcomb's wellbeing concerns. So as I said, each team member is going to do this. They do the examination that includes each of these things: the new practices, the partnerships, and the technologies for teaching and learning. And in the report, you will provide everyone's examination. However, only your contribution here will be counted towards the word count. I'll explain that a little bit more soon. Okay, number 3, you then need to do a review and a comparison. And this again is a team task, 600 words in total. So as a team, you will have a look at the examination that each of you have done, and then you'll do a comparison of all the new practices, partnerships, and technologies that you've researched, and you'll analyse those strategies and provide some key recommendations. So you'll be noting either the best approach or why aspects of the different approaches may suit different purposes. So again, you need to do this as a team and submit only 600 words for this section. Number 4 is a reflection of 400 words. Now, the assignment details do say that this can be undertaken as a team. However, we suggest and recommend that you do this as an individual, so that you can be honest and upfront about how your experience has been working with a team. We have found when students have done this unit in the past that they preferred not to do this section as a team, so we do recommend it be individual. So you need to reflect on your experience working as a team and identify your key learnings and any benefits or challenges that you encountered. You should make some recommendations that you would provide to others when undertaking teamwork in the future too. And you should be considering the opportunities of teamwork to provide a range of teaching strategies and how this may benefit or challenge your practice as a teacher. So again, always thinking about what is the benefit or what are the challenges, why are we getting you to do these things? Because it's going to help you to be a better teacher when you're out there in the workforce. Now, for the reflection, there is a resource there to help you write a reflection. A reflection can be written in first person as compared to points 1 to 3, which need to be written in third person. Although it's not stated in the rubric, it is recommended that you do provide some referencing in this section as well. It will further enhance your work and help you to move up into the higher grade bands. Okay, so your reference list. So you are going to be doing that examination on your own. However, it's submitted to the whole team's report, the analysis and the review and comparison. So you need to work with your team to complete one reference list for all of this. For the reflection, any references that you include in the reflection will form part of an individual reference list. The report template will show you how to break this down further. So remember that you need to be using APA referencing style, and that the reference list doesn't contribute to the word count. You'll have lots of feedback from your ELAs by now on your APA referencing. However, please refer to the referencing guide here in additional resources to ensure that you're meeting the requirements. Okay, and number 6, the final thing here is you need to record your collaboration with your group. It needs to be no more than 2 pages and it's submitted as an appendix. So again, screenshots so that you can attach it as part of the report, because you can only submit 1 document per person. Okay, so it does say here that for ease of reading, it's recommended that you colour code individual team members' contributions, but whatever works to make it clear where you have contributed, whether you circle it or whatever you do to highlight that is fine. Okay, and as mentioned, there's quite a few additional resources here to support you. A referencing guide, assignment support, so this will take you to your tutor. Just a reminder that if you haven't used this service before, it's free and is going to give you some feedback on a draft. So I highly recommend you using that. There's some information about how to work effectively as a team and also a reflective writing guide. So have a look at those resources. Also have a look at what's on the discussion board that your ELA has provided. Okay, so looking at the submission details overview, as I mentioned, the report's undertaken as a team. However, each team member is required to submit an individual copy of the report for marking. So the template will help you to know what you need to include on that. So generally each team member will receive a similar mark. However, marks may be moderated individually based on those individual components of the assignment. You'll submit your assignment the same way as you had submitted 1A and 1B. And if you're wanting to get an originality report, you just need to allow 24 hours for that. Okay, so let's have a look at the assignment criteria quickly. Here's the rubric. You should be familiar with rubrics now. And you'll see that you need to have a look at all of the descriptors in the pass category here. You need to meet all of these descriptors in order to receive a pass for this assignment. Moving on into the higher grade bands, you need to meet all or most of those descriptors to push you up into the higher grade bands. So look at this carefully, use it as a checklist, as I've always said, and you've got this along with the assignment overview and details, along with the live collaborate session with your ELAs to support you to know what is required for this assignment. Okay, so I've really whipped through all of that for you because I wanted to give you the chance to have a look at some of the other resources that are available for you. So as I said, you're going to attend the live collaborate session with your ELAs, and they will go through this in detail, but I just wanted to show you how the assignment is broken down a little bit further. And you'll see that part 1, the analysis, is 600 words in total. The examination is 600 words each for each team member. So the size of this will depend on whether you've got 3 or 4 team members. And just to note that only your contribution is counted in the overall word count, even though you submit all of them. The review and comparison is done as a team and it's 600 in total. The reflection is 400 in total, and that's each individual will do 400 words. The reference list has no word count, it's done as a team, and the record of collaboration also not included in the overall word count, but it's done as a team as well. So as I said, you're going to just make one submission, and you'll do that by using this template. As you can see, you will put your team number at the top, the members of your team, then your name and your student ID. And then you're going to have the analysis of the scenario, and that's the same for each team member's report. You have the examinations, so you include all of them, even though only your contribution will be counted to the word counted towards the word count. The review and comparison, again, all the same for every team member. The reflection is your individual reflection, so that will be different on everybody's submission. And then you have the team reference list, which is for all of those first sections, 1, 2, and 3, and then a reference list for your individual reflection. So this will be different again for each of your submissions, and then the record of collaboration. All of these resources will be available on your Assignment 2 Q&A forum in the discussion board, and I wish you all the best of luck with this final assignment. Well done.